Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Peachy and this channel is all about my Sylvanian Families collection. For today's video we're going to be opening one of the Re-ment sets that I got for Christmas, so it's this one here, which is the Country Kitchen. This is a slightly older set now. It was first released in October 2022. My knowledge on Re-ment is nowhere near as strong as my knowledge on Sylvanian Families, so I'm not sure if it's discontinued or whether it's still in production. I couldn't find it in stock in any of the usual places, which leads me to believe it's probably discontinued. I got mine off a random seller on eBay. I thought it would be a good idea to set it up in the Sylvanian Families starter home, as that should give us a good idea of the scale when compared to Sylvanian Families. And I also have Daisy Buttercup and Barbara Dale here to help demonstrate the scale. Let's get started with the unboxing. So starting by taking a look at the outer box that the Re-ment set came in. So you can see here it's called the Country Kitchen, and there's a little picture here of it all set up, all the pieces that it comes with. And then if I tilt the camera up a little bit, you can see again here it is set up on the backdrop that will come in the box. On the front of the box here we can see the 8 different sets. Re-ments are sold in one of two ways. You can either buy them like this, where they come with this sticker on it, where you can buy the complete set, or you can buy the individual boxes, a bit like how we buy the blind bags for Sylvanian Families. Either you can buy the complete set in a box, an outer like this, or you can buy the individual bags, in this case boxes. So here are the 8 different boxes that the set comes in. Very cute selection, really looking forward to seeing these pieces in person and close up. The fun thing about Re-ment is they usually have little pieces for you to make, cut out and make on the boxes as well. So here's one of those pieces here. It allows you to make a diorama without having to have anything else. Also here on the back, and it's showing you how to set it up. It is of course in Japanese, so if you wanted to do this you'd probably need to use Google Translate to help you, unless you can of course read the characters. And on this side there's like a kitchen island unit to set up. And on the bottom it shows you how to open the outer box if you were going to put it on the shelf. So let's get it open and take a look at how it looks inside. So that's the box opened. I had a little bit of trouble with the perforation, I think because the box is a little bit older. But here's the 2 main diorama pieces, so you get this nice tiled floor and also this backing piece. There's a shelf that you can put up here, that's one of the bits on the side of the box, and obviously you can cut out that kitchen island as well. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to try and use Sylvanian pieces if we need any extra furniture, just so we can test the scale. But I do think it's great that it comes with its own little diorama if you've got nothing else, and it looks very cute with the Sylvanians as well. So here's Barbara and the wall, and you can see it's a good scale for her. So on the main box itself, this is how it would look on if you set it up on the shelf to be able to buy the individual boxes. And then if we take a look at the individual boxes, so it's got the same image from the top of the box on here. Love this image, I think it looks really homely and cozy. And then down both sides you have the 8 different options, 4 on one, 4 on the other. And on the back you've got kind of safety information and things like that. So the top of the box, repeating the name and some of the key information, and barcodes on the bottom. And it also says 2022 here, so I guess that's how you can tell when sets were made for Re-ment, which is helpful. So let's go ahead and get these open. So I've gone ahead and turned the starter cottage around, and the diorama pieces fitted quite nicely in, so I've popped them in here as well. Also taken the top floor and used it to extend the bottom floor, let some more light in so we can really see all the pieces. So here's box number 1. And we have set number 1. I can't read the Japanese, but it says farm work up here, so I wonder if that's a translation from down here. I love the basket of apples in this one and the wheel of cheese. We've got a little animal friend here as well, and also this milk churn. And the great thing about Re-ments is it shows you kind of setup inspiration inside, but it also comes with some paper pieces that you can cut out. So here we have those. So this will be to go inside basket of apples, I think, and I'm not sure about this one. So then here we have the pieces themselves. This one is far bigger than I thought. So let's start off with our animal friend. I think this is either a goat or a baby sheep. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, they're absolutely adorable. Got nice detailing on the hooves. This isn't probably a figure that I'll keep with my Sylvanians, as it might be a little bit strange for them to have photorealistic animals. But I'm sure I'll find a place for him in somewhere else in my collection. And then the other pieces we have are this basket full of apples. This is really nicely detailed. The basket is kind of made to look woven. It's made of plastic, but I think it looks quite effective. It's also got a nice handle. I think it's got bent slightly in the box, but I'm sure it will pop back into shape with a little bit of heat. And then here are the apples. There's 4 of them, 3 the same, and then 1 with a nice green leaf on it. These are very nicely detailed. After the orchard scene I did for autumn in 2024, I've become quite au fait with miniature apples of all varieties, and these are very nice. They look very cute in the basket, and I'm thinking if we grab Barbara, oh, she's tipped a couple out, but she can definitely hold this basket and it looks a good scale with her. I'm gonna have to go find those apples in a minute. Here's the milk churn. Comes with a separate lid that you can pop on or remove. It doesn't sit on there very securely, so it's a little wobbly. The paint job on this is nice. It's got quite a realistic metallic looking paint, and if I pop that next to Barbara, you can see it's quite a good scale. It's not as big as the Sylvanian ones, but it could just be a smaller version. And then here we have that lovely wheel of cheese. The detail in there where the slice has been taken out is really nice. We grab Daisy. Again, that's a very good scale. So I think that's a definite success on the scale. Carrying on with box number 2. And this is set number 5, and it's the pasta making kind of piece of machinery, cheese and cheese grater, as well as this lovely yummy looking dish. So this image I think will be the same in all of them, and then we have some pieces here that we can cut out. So this looks to be a box of tea, and also something here, I'll have to Google translate it. I do love the addition of these extra pieces, however they are not perforated like Sylvanian Families are. They are a little bit more work. So first up, this absolutely beautiful plate. There's a little bit of marking on there. I have to try and get that off later, but I love the design on this. It's very, very pretty, very farmhouse. It's got RM for Re-ment on the back there. And then to go on the plate is the spaghetti. It kind of looks like spaghetti bolognese to me. That is wonderfully detailed. It looks very realistic. You always love that about the food in Re-ment sets. They always look super, super good. Then we've got various pieces of the pasta machine, and we'll pop that together in a minute. Here's the fork to go with the plate. It's got some nice detailing on the handle here as well. And if we look at the scale, that looks pretty good. Very nice hearty plate of pasta for Barbara. Here's the block of cheese, and I wonder if that fits into the wheel. So it does. These are the details I love about Re-ment. So this is the wedge of cheese that's been taken out of the wheel, and then it's been started to be grated over the pasta. The detail on that is just phenomenal. So there's the bit that's been grated, rest of the cheese, and while we're at it, the cheese grater as well. And scale for these, it's again really, really good. I don't think it will fit, so it's just too small to fit over her paw, but she can kind of hold it if you are gentle with it, so that's cool. Now the pasta maker, this looks complicated. So I think those must clip onto here. Somehow. I'm going to need to look at the box. So here it is. It's all very precariously put together, as you can see. It's all falling apart in my hands, but it just all kind of sits together, so you're not really going to want to touch it too much, I don't think. The crank does go in and turn around, but it only kind of just sits in there. Then it also has this, which is to clamp it to the table. So it sits on like that, and then it's got a space there where you would clamp it to the table that we haven't got yet. Then you've got the pasta coming out. It's a really lovely piece. It's just very much, I think you'd want to put it down and then not touch it because it's very loosely put together. Then we have box number 3. So I'm taking these kind of left-right alternating. So if it's following a pattern, this should be option number 2. So let's have a look. And it is, so it must go on the left hand 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the right hand side 5, 6, 7, 8. If you were buying them out of a fresh box and you wanted a particular one. So there's some more bits. Oh, those are really pretty. I love the design on them. And then here's the option we got. It is the Farmhouse stove. One of the main pieces. And it looks huge. I think this is probably going to be potentially a little bit big for Sylvanians. But let's get it out. So here's the bottom part. This opens to be the oven, though it is all just the same colour. And then it has knobs on it as well. These are twistable, so that's nice. Then we've got the hood and the other parts. So here's the part that will attach to the oven, like so. And it is just, I think, a little bit big for the Sylvanians. I feel like it wouldn't look absolutely preposterous, kind of in the back of a scene though. But you maybe, if you were, they can't quite reach the hob, but they can reach the oven quite well. And then here is the hob piece itself, so I'm guessing that slots on here. Got a nice baking tray, which is the right scale. So Re-ment is a little bit hit and miss with the scale. Here we've got what looks like soup being cooked, and it is a separate piece. So we've got this lovely copper pan. Really nicely detailed with the copper on the outside and the kind of silver colour on the inside. And then here's the soup that's being cooked. Looks like probably some vegetables. That looks very effective within the pan. And the pan is again a really good size for the Sylvanians. And we also have a ladle. Again, great size for the Sylvanians. Pop the pan on the hob, and I'm guessing the baking tray will fit. Yep, so that fits in the oven just like that. So unfortunately just a little bit too big. I think you probably, if you wanted to, you could probably take the legs off. And if you took the legs off, the scale would be much better. So that is something you could look to do. I probably won't, but there are little hooks up here as well, which I'm guessing maybe the ladle can sit on. Yep, that's cool. You can hang the pan up there as well when you're not busy cooking in it, like so. think we'll have it on the hob for now though. So that's option number 2. And here's the 4th box we're going to open. And if it's still following the pattern, this should be number 6, I think, option number 6. And it is. So yeah, that definitely seems to be the pattern. This one I love as well, the bowl of eggs with the little cracked shell, the flour with the egg, the mug, butter, and this lovely sack of flour. So we've got some more paper pieces here. Looks like the recipe for the fresh pasta down here. And also another kind of piece of wax paper that you could probably put under the butter. Oh my goodness, all of those eggs are individual. That's amazing. So let's try and round them all up. That's so cool. I don't think I have many Sylvanian kind of eggs in shells. So this is great. You've got 3 white and 3 brown. Thought they were going to be like a molded piece. So that is amazing. Then you've got this lovely bowl. This is just feels very farmhouse. Love that. And we can put all our eggs in there so they don't get lost. Scale with the Sylvanians is great. Just pop it by Barbara's feet. We really need that table. Then here's the sack of flour, or it could be sugar or kind of whatever white substance you'd want it to be. And there's a notch in here for the little scoop to go. You kind of press that in there and it stays quite well. Again, the scale's really nice. Here's the mound of flour which the egg can sit in. I think you call this in baking like a flour well. Creating a well of flour and then cracking your egg into it. This is like a jigsaw puzzle. The egg will go in a very specific... There we go. Just like that. The egg is also really nicely detailed. Then here's the mug. Love this. The design on it is super farmhousey, and then it's like a tin mug. Oh, it's not a mug, it's a sieve. Oh, that's cute. A sieve for the flour. And this part is kind of netted. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I really like that piece. And it looks like it's really made of tin. And then here are the little cubes of butter. Very realistic. They definitely look like cubes of butter. And here is the cracked eggshell. I love this as well. I'm presuming, oh, it does, it fits together. And then you can crack it open. That's so cool. I love that. It's a little bit fiddly to get it back together. But that is beautifully detailed. And all of these pieces, as you can see, fit really well with the Sylvanian scale. Box number 5, and if it's still following the pattern, it should be number 3, the breakfast set. So the chopping board on this looks lovely, as well as this buttered piece of bread. And we've got a nice kind of tablecloth covering thing, I think, here to cut out. So first up, we've got another lovely plate. The pattern on this one is also absolutely gorgeous. Really love that. And then here is the kind of soup, and this is the same pattern as what's being cooked on the hob. I like it when there's continuity between the sets. I'm presuming it's soup. I'll pop that by Barbara's feet again, as we still don't have that table. Then we've got the lovely chopping board. Oh, this is gorgeous. This has a really nice wood grain effect on it, and it's also, I don't think you'll be able to see on the camera, but it's kind of embossed. Love, love, love that. Here's the butter for the bread. Here's the bread to be buttered. And that goes on there and it just kind of clips in. Sits on there very nicely. You can even see the knife marks in the butter. That's how detailed it is. That's really wonderful. Here we've got the rest of the loaf. It looks kind of like sourdough. Again, that's absolutely beautifully detailed, even with the flour on it. All the details, and then the interior of the bread as well, or the inside of the bread. I think Re-ment really do shine when it comes to their food pieces. And I'm guessing this slice will, yep, fits onto the bread like it's been cut off. We've got a couple of utensils, a little spoon with the same design as the fork we saw earlier for the soup, and this lovely bread knife. Looks very sharp even though it's not sharp at all. Bread knives do tend to be quite long, so I think that looks fine scale wise. And again, the scale on that is excellent. So this is box number 6, and I think it should be option number 7, which is the table. So let's find out. It feels quite a lot heavier than the other ones I've opened so far. We've got the table finally. That actually looks all right scale wise, but we'll have to have a closer look in a second. So here's what this one comes with. We've got some nice dough being rolled out and this apple being peeled. I love this. And of course, the table is the main piece. Again, we've got a nice kind of cloth piece that I guess goes on the table for some decoration. So let's get the table out. So here it is. It's really nice, really nicely detailed. Very much looks like wood. There's a grain on the top, which I hope is showing up on camera. It's a little bit difficult to get it to focus on it. Then you've got 2 drawers here. They are just moulded in, they're not functional. Lovely details on the legs, and then we've got a kind of grated or slatted piece down the bottom here. Absolutely beautiful piece, and if we put it in, you could probably argue that it's very slightly too tall for the Sylvanians, but I think you could definitely make this work. Don't think it's preposterously too big. And then here's the rest of the pieces. First of all, the dough that's being rolled out. So this is very nice. It's flat on the bottom, so it will sit on your scene. Lovely rolling pin. I like the 2 different colours on this one. Oops. And that just sits on the dough nicely. And then here is the apple with the peel coming off. And here is the knife for that. Very sensible size. Makes sense for the scale. And then we also have this little pot of, I'm not quite sure what, some sort of cooking ingredient, maybe some sort of herb or spice. And again, the scale on that is really nice. So the scale of the actual accessory pieces is great for the Sylvanians. The table is possibly just a teeny bit too tall, but I think you could definitely make it work, especially if you put it in the Timbertops house, as they're just that little bit taller. So box number 7, and by my deduction, I think it should be option number 4, which is the jam one. So this comes again with some lovely pieces. Some paper pieces here, so we've got another recipe and another one of these lovely, I'm guessing they're pot holders. So lots of little pieces here. So first up, we've got this strainer or sieve. I think it's a strainer though. Really love the detail on this with the blue and the white. That is a really lovely piece. And to sit in there, we've got these nice lemons. So they're all molded together, not like the eggs. But they've also got this green stem on them. They look super fresh. Just realised I've taken the table away, so back to the floor it is. Then we've got 2 glass jars here with the homemade jam in it. It looks like we're making raspberry and lemon. The lids on these have really lovely detail. They do really look like they would, and they look homemade because there's no labels or markings on the jars. Again, scale on those is great. We have this spatula piece. This is lovely detail again. You can really see the wood grain on there. Looks very realistic. And it has a hole, so I'm thinking we're going to be able to hang it on the cooker hob. Then we've got a nice set of scales. So they don't move like Sylvanian scales would, but you can twist the needle round. So that will be good for photos. It's got realistic measurements on there too. The detail on that's nice. I really like the colour, this lovely bright blue. And then probably the main piece. So first of all, we've got this big copper pan. Interestingly, this doesn't have the silver in it, it's all copper. The colour on this is gorgeous. You can kind of see it's kind of speckled. Really does look realistic to how copper pans look in real life. And then we've got sugar and berries, which we're going to be mixing together to make the jam. Or maybe it's flour, I'm not sure, I've never made jam. I'm guessing it's sugar though, because I think you have to put sugar in it to kind of preserve the fruit. Jam making feels like a very wholesome, holy Sylvanian activity, so I really love this. And it's all gathered around poor Barbara's feet again, but you can see the scale on all of those pieces is excellent. And last but not least is box number 8, and by power of deduction it should be option number 8, the apple pie. So let's have a look. It is indeed. I love the pie in this, it looks so realistic. So it looks like we've got another box to fold on this one, and it shows you it's going to be a little bag of coffee. The box we got earlier was a bag of tea, so that makes sense to have tea and coffee in your kitchen. Lots of little pieces in this one, so where to start? Let's start with the plate, as that's very pretty. It's in the same style as the other ones, but with different colours and different flowers. I like the kind of mismatched cottagecore kind of vibe coming from the porcelain. It's got a really pretty scalloped edge. Then we have a smaller, so this is a saucer. Again, you can see same sort of style but different colours with different flowers. Gorgeous again with the scalloped edge. And then here's the little teacup or coffee cup to go with that. It's got the flowers on the one side. There are a few little marks on this that I have to try and get off, like the handle on that. And it also has the separate thing of coffee, so you can either have the cup with coffee or without, and you can kind of move that around to look like it's being poured or sitting in there flat, so that's a cool feature. Then here's the little kettle or teapot, coffee pot. This looks like it's made of metal again, it's obviously plastic, but I like the design on there, again with a different flower. And it has a little lid. This is blue and white, matches the strainer. We've got a kind of cake fork. It's slightly slimmer than the fork we saw with the pasta. It's got the same design on the handle though. here is the pie plate. Gorgeous, looks very realistic. I love this bright orange colour. Feels very much like it would fit in with these vibes. Then here is the pie piece. This is gorgeous. It looks so much like a real pie. The glazing on it, the way it's been painted, the way you can see the innards are just, oh, gorgeous. And even the detailing of where it's slightly more baked than not baked. And then where the slice has been taken out of it, it really does look like a very yummy pie. And that fits nicely into the pie plate. And then we of course have a slice of pie as well. And I'm presuming this will fit. Yep, so that fits perfectly in there, or you could have it separately on the little plate. And again, the scale on all of those is really great. So over here I've pulled together all of the pieces. So it might be helpful to see them all laid out. And what I'm going to do now is decorate a little kitchen scene, and I'll be back to show you that in a minute. And here we have the finished kitchen scene. I think with everything in, the scale of the table and the cooker being slightly off is not quite as obvious. I did also end up making up the two cardboard pieces, so the shelf and that little side unit, because I wanted to see what the scale was like on those and with everything all together in the diorama. I absolutely love how detailed it is. The kitchen looks so busy. This looks absolutely great in the Sylvanian home. So if I pull back, you can see this is in the starter cottage, and you could still put that second floor up the top. I'll do that in a moment. As always with Re-ment, there's usually pieces that don't fit into the scene, so these are the pieces that I didn't manage to squeeze in. You could easily add another table or another sideboard in though, to make sure you've got all the pieces, maybe a dining table and chairs so that you could be having a meal. So here I've added that second floor back in, but you can see it's sitting a little bit wonky. That's because of the backdrop, but without the backdrop in, or with it cut down a bit more to size, you could definitely get that second floor back in. I've also added in a little toddler baby size and the younger sister size figures, so you can also get an idea of the scale with them involved as well. And that's all for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed unboxing and taking a really close look at this Re-ment set with me. Let me know in the comments which was your favourite of the options or your favourite item in the set. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye for now.